I really didn't have a topic for today's video until about like 10 seconds ago when I remembered that there's this crazy experience slash story slash multiple years of my life that I just haven't really touched on too much, or at least like made a full video dedicated to it. Um, and that is my experience being a TikToker. For those of you that don't know, I at least at one point. I guess technically still am a TikToker with over 170,000 followers, so not like a massive, massive creator, but someone on the platform with a little bit of a following. So definitely more than my YouTube, I will say that. But I did want to at least use this video to kind of tell you about my experience because it wasn't as pleasant as you would expect, nor straightforward. There's a lot of twists and turns throughout that. I was trying to do something motivational today, but I mean, I guess you could take this motivational, but I forgot all my motivational topics. Like, I had these really good shower thoughts the other day, and I just could not remember what they were. Like, I was in the shower and I came up with like three banger video ideas. And this morning when I woke up, I couldn't think of any of them because I can't really film on the weekends. I can only film like during the day on weekdays when my roommate's gone to class. So that's like my only time I really get to film and sit down and talk. So I got 10 minutes right now, hopefully, that I can kind of tell you guys this story. So without any further ado, let's get into it. If you guys have any like ideas or stuff you want me to talk about, please leave them in the comments. I'm going to try to upload daily, and the hardest part of that is coming up with things to talk about. Now, once I get an idea, I can sit here and talk, but coming up with that's the worry. But anyways, man, I'm just getting so used to those like 1 hour yap sessions. I'll just talk about nothing. But let's actually get into the topic of the video, which is my experience with TikTok. So it all begins about I want to say 3 4 years ago, probably 2021. So we'll say 3 years ago. Um, okay, this is absolutely crazy. This is the first time this has been admitted publicly. But there was a girl I liked, and I had just downloaded TikTok, like for my own personal use, and she had a TikTok on there, and I didn't really know how to talk to her because I didn't have Snapchat at the time, I didn't have Instagram, I didn't have anything like that. I had her phone number, but as a awkward freshman in high school slash I think middle schooler, uh, that was not gonna happen. I wasn't gonna step up and actually do anything like that, like talk to a woman. So at that point, I was still scared, so I didn't. And instead, I had the brilliant idea to make a TikTok as a means to communicate with her. So, I started just uploading a few videos here and there, and one day we got to talking. I was in a group chat with her at some point. We got to talking about like I remember this specifically. Lemon Starburst, I believe. If you scroll all the way back on my TikTok page, I bet you can find a video about Lemon Starburst, and that's what this is. And she mentioned something about it, so I made a TikTok about it. And we got to talking about that like privately. So I was like, "Oh, I'm risen. I'm risen." Um, Unfortunately, I was not risen. Uh, she probably liked me. I don't know. It would have been hard to like me at that point in my life. That eighth grade freshman, even part of sophomore year, me was pretty rough. So I don't know how that was possible. But looking back on it, she might have. I don't know. uh, that's something we just don't think about. But anyways, I made that for her. We got to talking a little bit, and then I just kept making TikToks, trying to get famous because I was thinking if I'm a famous TikToker, the girls are gonna love me, especially this one. So I'm like, that's what I'm gonna do. That's my riz right there. And that actually is what ended up happening. I kept grinding, and about a month later, I had my first viral success, which I remember was my first ever viral video. First one to ever cross 1 million views was back to school tips for freshmen, which actually, looking back on it, I think was a video for her because she was a grade below me. So this was when I was going into my sophomore year, and she would have been a freshman, so she was a year younger than me, and um oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. And I did like a, back to school tips for freshmen. And that is when I basically was like, wear these t-shirts, run in the hallways, use Axe body spray instead of deodorant, like a bunch of satire, like a bunch of things you should not do, but it was funny, it was satire. And that was my first viral video, and it did great. And I remember sitting there on the couch and watching it go to 10,000 views, and I had no idea that it was going to be at a million by the end of the week. So that was crazy. And I remember my dad just thinking he was absolutely crazy because he knew that I was making TikToks. I didn't try to hide it, but I didn't try to like publicly announce that I was grinding. Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really grinding. I was posting like once or twice a day, but yeah, that's about it with that. I wasn't like grinding, but I was consistent, more consistent than I am right now with YouTube. Hopefully that will change. We're gonna get into it this week. I'm finally finished my first week at college, so we're on to our second week. So we kind of got a schedule going. We got a routine, so I'm a little bit more adjusted. So I should be able to upload a little more frequently. But yeah, anyways, instead of getting off track, yeah, I remember telling my dad like, yeah, this is getting lots of views at 100,000, lots of comments. I mean, I spent time replying to every single comment. That's crazy. Like I find it hard to and I try to answer to every single comment when I get around to it, but like especially on TikTok, that is so difficult when you have thousands of comments, and I was replying to hundreds of comments. Like it was crazy. I was just so excited because that's all I've ever wanted. I mean, I was doing YouTube in the process of this. Like TikTok came after YouTube. I had already established a YouTube channel, which is not the same one I'm operating under right now. The one I'm operating under right now, Mr. Underscore Truck Mode, is actually named after the TikTok account. We're the same entity. We're the same being, the same person. And I was using another gaming channel at the time, but those were completely separate from the TikTok. And the TikTok was purely like comedy, short based, like meme trends, whatever. And yeah, it just went from there. And then before I knew it, I had 10,000 followers just from random videos. And then I had a couple series blow up. I had some like where I told like these 15-second little corny jokes like, never trust anybody named Chris because if Chris crossed applesauce, imagine what he'd do to you. But I did it all dramatic and all that. Then I got a bunch of famous people named Chris to stitch it, and so that helped. That was cool. Another one that was cool, the Doritos twerking challenge thing, where I like spun this wheel, and like I was like, if Doritos comments on this video, I'll twerk, and that got like 7 million views for some reason, and I made a whole series about that. The Gummy Bear album thing was probably what I was most known for. If anybody recognizes me for anything, it's probably that. So I kind of took the throne from Alex Too Epic. Since he kind of retired, I kind of took over the gummy bear scene. So every year around November 13th, I would basically blow up and go viral. I mean, when I say every year, it happened for 2 years. When I tried it on the third year, it didn't go well, but I'll explain that in a little bit. This video might be a little bit longer because this is quite a big story, and I yapped for a while. But anyways, that was a big series on my thing. I mean, I would milk it for like a month, starting like the month before. So like, what would that be? September 13th? No, October 13th. I don't even know my months, bro. October 13th all the way to November 13th, we'd milk the trend. Uh, be like 1 month till the Gummy Bear album, and yeah, I even had like a sound that was literally the top of TikTok. This is insane. But at one point, I actually had like a successful TikTok cult. Like, if you see any gummy bear like profile pictures, like 1 year, no, 2 years ago, that was me. That was me. Like, I would scroll through comments of other people's videos and like famous creators' videos and see just gummy bears, just scrolling through the comments, just gummy bears, all of them. Like, I have a screen recording of going through my comment section, and it was just miles of the gummy bear from the Gummy Bear song. I'm a gummy bear, like nuts. And I had my own viral sound with like I ended up getting like 100,000 videos posted to it. So like I started a trend, which is nuts. I mean, that's all I've ever wanted to do was like make an impact on the internet like that. And there were people that just loved that. That was their favorite time of year. It was like a second Christmas almost. It's like the Christmas before Christmas. So it was awesome. Um, and that was kind of my TikTok experience. If only it was that simple, if only it was that simple. Well, you know, as a teenager, money is cool, especially one who wants to make social media their job. You know, if I can start making money from doing this, then I don't have to get a job and then I can keep doing this. But if I don't, I have to get a job. I have to spend time doing that and then I therefore can't do this anymore. So money was a, important factor. So obviously, I was under 18 at the time. This was during my high school years. So I applied for the TikTok Creator Fund under my dad. using his information, all that, which was perfectly legal. There were plenty of people doing that. All those younger creators you see, I mean, that's all that they did. That's all them. Like when Tommy Innit got big, that's what he did, right? Um, and so I applied for the Creator Fund using his information, and they like declined it. We put in his information, and then they said invalid ID. Although we didn't submit an ID, we chose to use the credit card method, and we were locked out of the Creator Fund like indefinitely. So I sent them a support email. 6 months later, they send it back and say, "Have you tried using the credit card method instead?" So I respond to that with about the 1,000-yard stare face, just like look at him like, um, and I was like, "Yeah, that's what we did, and that's what's not working." And they never responded to that. Like there was never another response. So I, was indefinitely suspended from the Creator Fund. So I did not make a single cent off of 3 years of TikTok, over 100 million views, 11 million likes, and 170,000 followers. Not a single cent. Nothing. Um, the only time I did make money was when I did some TikTok lives. So I used to do some TikTok lives around the gummy bear season, and by used to, I did 2 streams until someone reported me for being under 16, which at that time I wasn't because the TikTok live requirement to go live was 16 at the time. Now it's 18, but it was 16 at the time, and someone reported me for being younger, which I wasn't. I was 16, and I got banned, and they would not appeal the decision. They would not let it slide. They didn't. So I made a little bit, not a lot, but I made a little bit off of that, and then it went away. So basically, TikTok blocked me out from everything. I would have made over $3,000, by the way, uh, just from like views and stuff, Creator Fund, all that. So that's cool. Um, and they never addressed it. Their customer support is absolutely terrible. One of the worst customer supports I've ever with any. I've worked with a lot of companies in the social media online space. TikTok's is by far the worst. They have a non-existent customer support service team. Um, if you want an answer within 6 months, don't ask TikTok customer support. They'll probably email me like next year or something with that issue that I responded with them like 2 years ago. So yeah, but that's my experience. The bad side as well. Oh wait, I'm forgetting why I don't post anymore because I am 18 now. I can legally make money and join the Creator Fund, and I can. I checked. I can. I can use my own information now. The ban has been lifted. Awesome. I guess it was. I don't even know, but the ban has been lifted. I can join the Creator Fund, but I almost don't want to. Actually, no, I did join it. I take that back. But there's another part to this story. Whenever I first got kicked out of that Creator Fund a while back, I got shadow banned, which means that I did not basically receive any views. Like I have not had a viral video since I think the highest I had was 100,000. But even every year, whenever the gummy bear season would come around, I would do the gummy bear trend. Nothing. Nothing. And I kept consistent. There were a few times where I'd post every day for like a month. Nothing. I could never get anything back. I would just be stuck at 1,000 views. I was basically shadow banned for forever. So not only did they ban me from the Creator Fund basically indefinitely until now, they've kept me shadow banned ever since. So I've tried to come back and post, but it's just so demotivating knowing that they're basically like silencing me on every single video I post. So that's why I don't post on there anymore. I'll try to come back every now and then, but I just get hit with the reality that um, I'm shadow banned indefinitely, which is not cool. I mean, hold on, I have like what 170,000 followers, and I can't even breach a couple hundred views on a video. Like, really? Like, did I fall off that hard? The one thing that always ticks me off is the gummy bear stuff because literally every year up to that point I had done the gummy bear stuff, and it would get millions and millions of views on every video. And then the year magically after the Creator Fund denied me indefinitely, um, they didn't get views anymore. None of them crossed over like 1,000 views or so. It was just weird, you know. It was weird. There's a lot of weird stuff that happened with TikTok, but the shadow ban one definitely ticks me off the most. The creator fund that was bad, but yeah, my experience with TikTok is it's pretty terrible. So that's why I'd rather be on here. I'd rather make this my job. That is the whole thing. But I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see next. Any video ideas, any motivational stuff, any story times you want to see from me. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.